Hey guys, this is RBR Short Films 13, aka Ryan, and I am making a live stream for Thursday night live stream. So I'm going to be live streaming for a good hour around there. So always try to make sure my background looks good. I want to do a lot with my room and change things and posters and stuff like that. And I haven't really got around to it this year, but the goal for next year is for to change up my room a lot because I'm just not really happy with it, and I've just been moving things around my room for like a long time and just trying to find like what looks best for my room. So, uh, hey Mario Mania, 1, 2, 3, 4, how you doing? Take my glasses off. I'm so crazy about my hair. 'Cause I always want it to look so good. And my hair, it, like, gets so messy so quickly, like, it's like that wind in the air outside. It just, like, you know, just messes with my hair, like, I get, like it gets all staticky, my hair gets so staticky. I always have to, do stuff with it. Voted? Oh, so no? Okay. Yeah, I was just because this movie has gotten so many bad responses, I have to make this a poll. Because I'm sure some people would agree, because I it's my favorite Halloween movie, so, you know, um, curious as to what, how many people, would say it's the worst one. Um, Even though I can't imagine people really thinking it's the worst one, but really I could because there's people that like Halloween Resurrection now, and, if people like Halloween Resurrection or they really like it, then, of course, Halloween Kills is more easily to be trashed, you know? Yeah, Resurrection's the worst, definitely by far. I mean, Halloween Kills, like, you could it tried, Resurrection didn't try, you know, at all. Um, so it's really too bad that was Mustafa's last Halloween movie that he produced. And it wasn't like a better Halloween film, you know, and that the series just gave up after that and was like, all right, we'll just reboot it, you know. It wasn't until this new outline, the 2018 outline, where uh Sirius has really made a return, you know. So to me, when I walked into Halloween 2018, that felt like the first Halloween movie since Resurrection. It felt a lot like that. I wasn't thinking about the remakes when I was watching that movie because I put the remakes aside as what ifs, not really actual entries in this franchise because they're more Rob Zombie, you know, they have that Rob Zombie style and stuff, and it's not necessarily that it's Rob Zombie. It's just it's that Rob Zombie, and it's too different to be called Halloween. Kind of like how people say season of the Witch is too different to be called Halloween. That's how kind of how I view the remakes. They're just completely different movies. Um, like yeah, you got Michael Myers in it, but it's not that same Michael Myers that we're used to. With Halloween Kills, we get the Michael Myers, uh, from the original movie and the original Halloween 2, and it was nice to see that. And in Halloween 2018, we got that same Michael as well, and yeah, it's I'm really excited for Halloween Ends. I don't know how excited you are. Um, but yeah, it's excited to see how this storyline ends. So, I'm nervous because like I don't want the franchise to go away already. Like it just made a series return for me with 2018. And with Kills, it was nice to see a continuation. It wasn't like a new story that we have to retell of everything, or the ending of a storyline. This was like why I loved Halloween Kills was because it was just a Halloween sequel, and it was great to just be able to sit through that, knowing that's not the last movie. But um, yeah, it was just really really cool. And I don't know. I don't want them to drag this out, so it makes sense that with Halloween Ends they would wrap this up. Lori and all that. But hopefully they don't wait too long to make another Halloween film because I feel like the series has a lot to offer, has a lot to bring, and hopefully we get to see Michael versus one of the iconic slashers. Because Michael Myers can be like anybody. I mean, you can get any stunt actor to play him. So it'd be really cool if they tried that. On Michael. I always wanted to see Michael Myers versus Pinhead, like that concept that they were gonna do, and that sounded really cool. Um, and Michael versus Jason would be pretty interesting, I think, even though it would be kind of pointless them fighting. There would be no winner or loser. So you know. But I feel like there is some sort of slasher or some villain that Michael could go up against. You know, I even thought Michael versus Leatherface would be cool. I mean, just stuff that like, I mean, what does the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series have to lose by this point? You know, Michael versus Leatherface would revamp the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. But I'm interested to see how they end it. I'm kind of ready to move on from the Laurie Strode angle of the series. Yeah, I can tell people want to see new characters. I'd like them to go back to Jamie Lloyd's character from Halloween 4 and 5, because I do not think that her character got a proper exit um, in the series with Curse of Michael Myers, and it'd be really cool if they retconned everything after Halloween 4, so everything's canon with the first four movies, but then after four, they start over, and like uh, it's basically like a different Halloween 5, and they bring back, all the original actors from 4 and 5, and kind of, they start over. It's years later, 30. So, I mean, wow, that was 88. So be like 35 years later or something. They could do something like that, or, close to 40 years. And Jamie Lloyd is now grown. She's got kids and she's married and she's maybe like a teacher. Maybe that'd be a cool tribute to like all the classroom scenes that we've gotten in the Halloween films. If like maybe Jamie Lloyd was and it would be a tribute to H2O with Laurie in that. But they could also do something else. But it'd be cool if like Daniel Harris character Jamie Lloyd was like a teacher at Haddonfield High. That would be pretty cool. Um, and I feel like that's where the series should go after Halloween ends. Is basically what they did for Laurie in these three movies. Do for Jamie Lloyd in like a 2-3 film you know set. Good evening, Zach. Bartron. Zach Barton. Sorry, horrible at pronouncing names. I know I have to get back to you on message on Facebook. Sorry about that. Um, Mario Mania, she was really good s- in Rob's Zombies film, so I wouldn't mind seeing her character again. Yeah, we see that Daniel Harris can still act, but I notice anything she's in that's not Halloween, um, like her acting is not as good. I've noticed her best acting in her career is those Halloween films, which is it's crazy, but um, my head canon is that after producers cut of 6 Michael gains the ability to jump into different timelines, and he goes to H2O where that version of Michael actually did die in Halloween 2. Hey, with all the Marvel, the multiverse, they created a multiverse for the slasher world, right? A multiverse with Freddy and Michael and Jason, and it's all different timelines and stuff. That would be really cool because with all those franchises, we all have different timelines. I think it would be suitable. Uh, and I think it'd be more accepted now by audiences today than it would have been. Uh, hey, King V. Yes, I did get your comment. You just sent me the comment 30 seconds ago. So how you guys doing? How's your night going? Um, yeah, happy Thursday night. This is November 4th. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen my movie Halloween November 4th, but yeah, of course you guys have. But um, that was my conclusion that at the end of that movie, Michael is destroyed by my character's stepmom, and she shoots him twice, and that just ends him because this Michael Myers in the November films, the Halloween November films, is very he can be destroyed very easily. He can take a lot of damage, but he can be destroyed. So if he's shot like here, then he's done. So I ended the story there. He collapses to the ground outside. He walks outside at the end, and then it goes to a pumpkin, and all that. So I wanted to end the story with November 4th. Originally, it was November 2nd. That was the last Halloween November movie. But I saw another movie, I saw a sequel, and I saw another sequel after November 3rd. And I'm glad I made those films. And then that was a great um, experience, like making all four of those and learning from that for Halloween New Blood. I don't think Halloween New Blood would have been as good if I not have made those Halloween November films. You walked 2 hours. Wow. Yep. Walking can be fun, you know, and also it cannot, but walking can be fun. I didn't enjoy walking so much when I was a kid, but I like walking a little bit more now. Aside from my back, my scoliosis. Um, so like I can pretty much walk uh almost yeah, I can walk half a mile, a little over half a mile with my back, but then it gives out by that point. So I love walking, but there just comes a point where I just can't do it. So yeah, I first had scoliosis I think when I was 15, because I started to have this like walk that was off, and people were starting to make fun of me around me about it, and I didn't know why. I'm like, well, why? What's going on with my hips? Thought there was something wrong with my hips or something, and and then I found out a year later that I had scoliosis. I'd be walking home from school half a mile every day, and I thought my back was in pain because of my backpack and all the books that were in it, and because you put everything in your backpack, from school, and I would always put like a lot of stuff in my backpack. I mean, how do you not when you're in school? You have to put everything in there, and it was like carrying bricks. What it felt like a bunch of heavy bricks on my back. So then I went to get an X-ray and everything, and then they told me I had scoliosis, and then I saw a chiropractor when I was 17 up until I was 20 or 21, and that definitely helped me for a long time. Anyway, um, did you hear that the Friday 13th lawsuit is apparently resolved? Yes, I know. We can talk about that, guys. The Friday 13th lawsuit is, you know, that's over. So now I guess what's going to happen with the franchise is what happened in the early 90s with New Line. They can't call it Friday the 13th, but they can use Jason, right? And uh, call it Jason something. They'll call it what? Jason 13 probably, or I don't even know where the series can even go from here. I guess Jason Returns, right? Or Jason Rising, even though that's already the name of a fan film. Uh, or because they've already done Jason Lives, so I don't know, just Jason Returns, uh, or Return to Jason. I don't know. I mean, they have to call it something, Jason something. You know, that's the like kind of like with Child's Play with Universal. Like they own the rights to Chucky, but not the title Child's Play and that storyline of the first movie. So I guess that's going to be the case for this. So they're going to call it Jason. They might just call it Jason. Just like the Chucky show, they call it Chucky, they might just call it Jason, you know? I mean, that's very profitable. People just go into the theater, "What do you tickets to Jason." You know, I could see that. Jason Kills. That is a very fitting title, actually, too, more than Halloween Kills, Jason Kills. Um, Resolved is a loose term to use for what happened. There's still a long road ahead before a new movie will be made. Oh yeah, of course. You think uh Dran Drotter in Halloween Kills will be the killer? Dran Drotter? Who's Dran Drotter? You mean granddaughter? Uh no. No, I don't think she's will be the killer. I mean, if they wanna tribute Halloween 4, kind of ending, then they might do some sort of twist at the end, where, like, Allison snaps, and she becomes the next Michael Myers, but we already saw that with Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4. We saw that with Laurie in Rob Zombie's H2. I really don't wanna see any more of that, and I honestly, I just I don't know. As a fan, I don't like the whole copycat Michael element. Um I like when it's Michael Myers and when it's only Michael Myers. I'm just that much of a fan. Now, if they do something like, let's just say they wanted to make another Season of the Witch movie, that would be okay because that already that it's not in the same timeline of the Halloween movies. So, um, uh, they could make the granddaughter. Um, I mean, I had theories about that from Halloween 2018 that that was possible, um, and but the Halloween Kills kinda debunked all that for me. To me, she was just like another Laurie, uh, um, was in Halloween Kills, that she came off as, like, the character that you're supposed to root for or supposed to feel bad if something happens to her. This movie was for her to learn to not face Michael Myers by herself. I think that's what was the main uh, element of this movie was that Allison had to learn the hard way. So now with Halloween Ends, she's going to be working with Laurie and probably a bunch of other people, in the town. So they probably might do like another mob storyline, but it'll be like done differently and like done better. Um, they'll do something like it. I mean, I really wonder how they're going to end it because it sounds like it's going to be this gigantic finale, and you know, but we all know that there's the Freddy's Dead, the final Friday 13th, the final chapter. Saw the final chapter. There's always it's the final movie. Um, Favorite kill in Halloween Kills. Oh, my favorite kill probably be uh Cameron. Cameron's kill. Yep, yep. That was really good. I liked Allison's reaction to that whole the actress's acting. I really liked her acting in that scene when she falls down the stairs and she breaks her leg, and like she had a really good scream, and she's really getting angry at Michael, and like she's like you know feeling all these emotions at once, and you just see it like in her eyes, and like yeah, it's just like a really great uh moment. But to me, that was like the most brutal kill probably out of all of them, because he first stabs him, but then like throws him around, and then uh keeps smashing his head again and again and again, and then his throat and this and that, and like paralyzes him. I mean, and then snaps his neck. Like, I mean, it was like ongoing, you know. The kills like prior to that scene were just quick, you know. They were just really quick and fast paced. That one went on. Cameron's death went on for a long time. So I think he has the best kill. What's your guys' favorite kill of that movie of Halloween Kills? I mean, the title Halloween Kills. What's your favorite kill? Okay, I guess. Oh, okay. The one where he used multiple knives was pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, that was pretty intense. What was interesting about that was the camera framing. Like it was blurred, like a little bit, like the focus of the camera. Like, it focuses on uh Sandra, and like what's happening in the background is blurred, but not blurred. You can still see what's going on. But I kinda like that because there was that element of suspense where it's like it's not fully clear. You can't fully see it, kinda thing. There was that suspense factor there, which was cool. I like the elderly couple where the wife just sits there dying, having to watch Michael repeatedly stab her husband on the counter. Yeah, I think that scene stays with me the most out of all the scenes in the movie. Is probably that scene, because it's just so brutal. It's so brutal. Okay, no spamming. Oh boy. Okay. Um. Oh, here we go. Also, did you notice the lady that plays Sandra was the cemetery caretaker in 2018 film? Yes, I did, and I first originally didn't notice that um, when I first saw it. The trailer for Halloween Kills, I was just like, "Who's that character?" I guess they're adding a new character, but then once it was like there's always these trailer, playthroughs in videos, like, of like analyzing everything. And then before the movie came out, I learned that that was the same character, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember her. Yeah, she was like a caretaker in 2018. So that was cool. I didn't know that she lived right next to Laurie Strode. That would have been interesting if she would have like said that, in that scene when she's with the at the cemetery. She could have been like, "Oh, I live next door to her, uh, with my husband," or something like that, and that way people would remember. Oh, the last movie she mentioned that, kind of thing. But it's just so random. She just lives next door to Lori. I like the drone that she was flying in the scene, um, and, her dialogue, and then, like, the husband is like, "Oh my god, this smells like a bunch of cigarettes." In Laurie's, house, and, yeah, that was a really great scene, and some really good suspense too, um, yeah, and you feel bad for the old couple. Out of all the characters, I felt the most bad for the the old couple. And of course, the kid that's killed, um, in, the scene before the nurse gets killed, because killing kids is, it's horrible. So, um, yeah, but the old couple is like that really got to me. But it's done really well, though. I I I caught it while watching it because I had rewatched 2018 right before it kills, so I noticed the nose ring. Oh, okay. I never paid attention to, that she had a nose ring or anything like that. So, but that was cool that they brought back a character from 2018 that was a background character. That was and made her like a more focused character that was really interesting and really cool. It's like, they're not wasting their characters, like, they're doing always something with the characters, they're giving them something to do in some capacity, instead of absolutely nothing, which I think that's why I really enjoy this new Halloween timeline, this trilogy, because these characters are always they have a task, there's something they have to do, and, that makes it all more interesting. Also, the people and nurse and doctor costumes are also in 2018. That's right. Yes, they were. So all those small characters in the background, we all thought they were just, background characters, make a return, and they all have a more important part to the storyline in Halloween Kills. They're more focused, and they have confrontation with Michael Myers, and, and also they could have done that also because they wanted this movie to be such a big body count. Like, I can't even count how many characters Michael killed in this movie, but, it's feels like, 30, like like, more than, like, any Friday the 13th film that I've seen, because like, you go back and you rewatch any of the Friday films, and it's like they all are nowhere near as brutal as Halloween Kills. Like, Halloween Kills is, like, the most brutal slasher film to me, or it's gotta be up there in the top 5 most brutal slasher films, my opinion. Um, and, so, um, All right. Um, did you guys know about the Scream show that's coming out? I mean, there has been a Scream show, but they're renewing the third season. Not they're renewing it for a fourth season, but it's not going to be connected to the season three storyline. It's going to be the season one and two storyline. And I'm really excited for that because I was a big fan of the first two seasons of the Scream show. I thought it revamped the franchise to me after Scream 4, Scream 3 and 4. It just kind of hit the reset button, and it created characters that were just as interesting as the original characters from the movie, the first two films. And I just got really invested in the story and everything. And it had a good body count, both seasons, especially season two. And there was a lot of great character development and a lot of good characters. I would love to see a season three to that first two seasons. I'd love to see those characters return. They'd be in college by now, so they could do a Scream 2 tribute and all that. I tried watching the show, but I just couldn't get into it. I never say any of the Scream I've never seen any of the Scream TV series. I might check it out sometime. I can't believe the amount of you guys that haven't watched the Scream show. That's crazy to me because it's been out since 2015, and I mean, season 3, it's Ghostface, but it's Scream. It's Scream, it's I don't know how. You can't I don't know how you don't watch it. And I just recommend watching season 1 and season 2 if you just wanna see Ghostface in action with, like, good kills and, like, Roger Jackson's voice, watch season 3, and the first 2 are if you like, those are for, like, story and, like, really good storylines. Um, not every episode is perfect in both of the first 2 seasons. There's, like, a couple episodes where I wasn't the biggest fan, but if you can just get through those, because most of them are great. Most of the episodes are great. So they just use all these different directors, so and writers. Um, what do you think of a new Scream movie that's coming out? I'm very excited for Scream 5. I don't know how you guys feel about Scream 5. Apparently, there's another trailer coming out really soon, which makes sense because it's November, and usually a final trailer to a movie is 2 months prior before it comes out. Um, so my guess is the trailer would come out like November 15th, you know? Um, I do worry about the January release slot for this movie, but then it's Scream, though. That's the thing, is it's such a big franchise. No matter what month you release it, like it's gonna do well or it's not gonna do well. Like it's Scream, and if it's profitable, then it shouldn't matter if it's in January. But I was really hoping that Scream 5 would have been able to come out in December. I think that would have been a lot better. Like early December release would have been really good. Um, and I do worry about the January slot. I almost wish they would delay it to like February or March, or even to like April. Like Scream 4 was in April of 2011. I just think January is a really bad month. It's the worst month to release a horror movie. That was the month Texas Chainsaw 3D came out, and The Devil Inside and all those movies, the bad January horror month, you know? So I do worry. Uh, they should have continued with Brandon James' story with for the show. Yes, they should have. Not for the movies, of course, but for the show, yes. Part of my not watching is lack of interest in the characters and story, and another part is when Harvey Weinstein was like, "Screw new movies. MTV is the sole place for Scream now." So I'm glad he's in jail. Yeah, the sole place for the Scream, series is the films, my opinion. Always will. That's where it started. Um, but the show is really, really good, and um, uh, it does well. I mean, on TV, like there's always a new episode, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and it's like you look at like the Chucky show. It shows you that these characters can have their own TV series if done right with the right writers, the right directors, and uh, the Scream show. They Wes Craven was an executive. Patrick Lussier, who was the editor of the first three Scream movies, directed When a Stranger Calls. He directed the 12th episode of season two. Um, and then like you have a lot, and then it was cool when they who played Maggie, the actress that played Maggie, she was in New Nightmare. So there was like a lot of cool horror homages, tributes, and originally people that worked on those movies on the show. Um, Harvey Weinstein had a lot of scandals. That's why season three was pushed back. Yes. Harvey Weinstein messed all this up. And now they have to start over. But Scream 5 is a great start over for this franchise. It really is. It's and it shouldn't even be a restart. It's a continuation of 4. It's continuing the sequel trilogy, which is what I always looked at Scream 4 was the first of a new trilogy of Scream, because you have the first 3 movies. So I thought there would be a Scream 4, 5, and 6. And 4 would be just bringing the old characters back, showing where they've been 10 years later and what's going on with them, and setting up some new characters. Then 5 would take some risks, go further with the plot, uh, possibly one of the main characters being killed off, and making the storyline more dramatic and more intense and more serious, leading into the sixth movie, which would be like a big finale showdown with Sydney and the new lead that's kind of taking over Sydney's character. Um, that's probably a lot of what Kevin Williamson originally had planned, you know. So I wonder how much the writers of Scream 5 talk to him about his original stories, for 5 and 6. And, I feel like the sixth movie is already, I think it's secretly already written. And that if this movie makes a lot of money, they already have a script ready to go. Um, personally, my opinion, I think that they already have it planned out if this does well. Um, if this movie of Scream does well, what do you think it's gonna call Scream Kills? Uh, Scream Kills? I mean, they could call it that. Um, I also like Scream Forever, is I think a good title. Or Scream Again. Uh, it would be a good title as well. Um, Scream Again has a, I don't know, interesting sound to it. Um, uh, they can't do Scream Returns, so they have to be very clever with how they do the sequel titles, because I can tell they're taking the numbers out, and that's the only reason why they're just calling this movie Scream. It's Scream 5, you know. They're just they feel like if they put 5 in there, it's not gonna profit, because they probably think, "Gee, a 5th entry in a horror franchise coming out in January with the number 5 in the title." They probably think that, and they're like, "If we call it Scream, like the original movie, maybe it'll generate more viewers. People that have never seen the Scream films maybe will go see this because they think it's a reboot." That's the only reason they're doing this in terms of the title. Uh, I really wish I really wish 4 would have ended with Jill's plan actually succeeding. That would have been really good, actually. I would have preferred that. I really actually would have preferred that because it would have done something that would the series never done before, and it would have set up a new movie. And, Jill would have been like, in an institution, a psych ward. There could have been some like cult following of Jill, and copycat ghost faces, and then it leads into a whole new direction, the storyline, and maybe they would do a scene like the Kieran death scene in the Halloween special. Then you guys haven't seen the show, so I don't want to spoil it. That would be hilarious if they called it Scream Kills. Yeah, it would be. I mean, would it be shocking? No, I don't think so, because they would see that the Halloween Kills did profit. It did do well at the box office. So, if they do call it Scream Kills, they'll say, "Oh, Halloween Kills." But hopefully they call it something that fits, you know? I don't know. You guys list, Scream titles that you guys think would, be good for Scream 6, you know? I feel like they could get away with 6 in the title of the next movie because they could change the E to a 6, like they did with 4, you know? I don't know. It's just gonna be weird it not being numbered. It really is not gonna be the same, like, I wanna go into the movie with you see the title Scream, the logo effect, right? Ghostface in the background, and it says Scream, and then the S changes to a 5, you know, and then it goes to the movie. I woulda loved that. Now if you pay attention to the knife on the poster of Scream 2022, um it's sort of like the way that the lighting and the shadow reflection, like all this stuff, like kind of symbolizes a 5. If you really pay attention to it, it has you can see the 5 with the blade, with the knife. Like you can see a 5. But you have to really look at it. Um, and I mean that's cool, it's like hidden in there, but I think that's for, like, the old school fans to, like, notice that stuff. Scream Part 6, Ghostface Takes Manhattan. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. That's the perfect title. I kinda wish it wasn't Paramount. Yeah, yeah. Um, well, we know what Paramount did with the Friday movies, like, after Jason Takes Manhattan, they just gave up on the franchise. But they did make 8 Friday films, and they try to keep that franchise going. But what we've seen with Paramount is they did that with Paranormal Activity and Friday the 13th. They milked off of those franchises. People were like, "Oh my god, the original Paranormal Activity." People were like, "Oh my god, with the original Friday the 13th." But as the sequels went on and on and on, people complained more and more and more and more. More Paranormal Activity than Friday the 13th, but, um they didn't know when to say when until they no longer could make any the profit that they wanted and needed to make. So once they could no longer make that profit at the box office that they needed, they were like, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want anything to do with the character. And so they just threw him away to New Line, you know. And so you do worry about the studio, and I do wish it would have went to Blumhouse. Um, uh, uh, I think Blumhouse would have been much better, more suitable for, uh, this movie. Um, Even Lionsgate, I think Lionsgate would have been better, as well. So like Lionsgate or even Universal Pictures, like all I think they all would have been better. Because with Paramount, they don't have the movies anywhere thing, where you all your digital accounts, like for your movies, like or it transfers everywhere. It's not going to be the case for Scream 5. You're going to have to, get it on Blu-ray, and then you can only enter that digital code on one of your, digital apps. So it's um, yeah, Warner Brothers would have been good too. Uh, if you want to be an accurate, if you want to be an accurate homage to Friday the 13th, Scream Part 6, Ghostface takes his time getting to Manhattan. Oh man, the twist that that actually takes place in Manhattan. Yep. That's funny. So I don't know if you guys are Grand Theft Auto fans, but they're coming out with the GTA Definitive Edition this month. I don't know if you guys are excited about that. Um, I'm excited for the most part. Um, I'm excited that I can like swim in Vice City. I'm excited to be able to do that. Because growing up playing that game, I always was so angry that Vice City Stories, the characters couldn't swim. Uh, and that's really cool. They're gonna add that. Did you see the little behind the scenes thing the Scream Instagram page posted today? Looks like Sid has a kid, like a bit. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I mean, they have to go somewhere with Laura, Lori Sydney's life. Like by this point in her lifetime, like it would make sense. Okay, she would be married finally. She'd have a kid. You know, it, it's kind of it was wowing that she wasn't married or had kids in the fourth movie. Um, it's kind of long overdue that Sydney's like a mom now. I mean, we're the fifth movie in, you know. Um, Hello, Night Frag Talk Show. How are you doing? I think YouTube has long ways to go with live streams and like the setup and the settings and how to do everything. I feel like that there's still way more to go with how YouTube does this. um, yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in um, for my live stream. I'm not ending it yet. Probably in another in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So I think a good half hour, and then I'm gonna get off here. I am going to see No Time to Die tonight. 007 James Bond, the last Bond movie for a long time, I assume. I'm a big Bond fan, and I'm going to finally see the movie. I'm seeing it tonight, so I'll let you guys know what I thought of it. I may not. I've never really reviewed a Bond film. I think I did review Skyfall. I think I did review Skyfall way back in 2012. So maybe I will. I don't know. So let's see how this poll is doing. Oh, okay. For Halloween Kills, the worst Halloween film. 17 yes, 83% no. So there is that 17% of people that do agree with that. There's about 6 votes. All right, I want to keep the poll up for a little bit longer and see if it changes. That's so funny. That's good. Something tells me after this movie, other company will buy Scream. It depends. If this movie makes a lot of money, Paramount is not going to let Scream go. They are going to profit off of that insanely. Um, but you don't know because Scream was with MTV after Dimension Films. I mean, when all that got messed. I mean, when the Weinstein scandal, all that happened, then MTV and Netflix, I think, were in charge of Scream for a long time. and then that changed to Paramount taking over. But I think it was also another studio that took over Scream as well. So um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're going to keep it at Paramount because Paramount is a big distributor. So and there's something called Paramount Plus, you know, which means that when Scream 5 comes out, they can then put it on Paramount Plus. They're probably not going to do the streaming like only on Peacock kind of thing with Halloween Kills. But it might come out on there like a month, after it was in the theater, and they'll put it on there for like 2 weeks or something. I don't know, but they can do anything now because they have Paramount Network. You know, I think that's where the MTV Scream show would play, would be Paramount Network. I think Paramount Network and MTV would work together for that show. Because I think those episodes would go on Paramount Network over Netflix, probably because Paramount now owns the rights to Scream. But who knows? It might play on MTV, or it'll play on MTV and Paramount Network. But then, MTV, it's not. You know, there's commercials and all that stuff. And I don't know. We'll see. Um, it took them so long for Scream movie. It did. It did take them a long time. But we did get a show during that time, about 12, 2013, 14, about 4 years after Scream 4, we had Scream, the TV series, season 1. A year after that, we had season 2, and then season 3 was 2019. So, we did get, more Scream content after Scream 4. Just wasn't a new Scream film, you know? And sort of the fans got what they wanted, but didn't get what they wanted. And with this movie Scream 5, fans are getting what they want, you know? But then who knows how we're all gonna react to this movie when we walk out, you know? I mean, I feel like this movie is going to make a lot of fans mad regardless. I think it's gonna make fans happy, some fans happy and some fans mad. Especially, like the Dewey fans, the people that are fans of Dewey's character. They're not going to take this movie well. um, I mean, just judging by the trailer, it does not look like Dewey is going to make it out of this. Or do you guys think that the trailer is tricking us and Dewey will survive this movie and it'll be Gale that gets killed off instead of Dewey? Are they gonna really shock us like that? Something that we would never think they would do. Like, we'd all be like, "Yeah, they're gonna kill off Dewey, and Gale and Sydney are gonna have this big 3rd act, and everything and Gale will be fine, or she'll get wounded or something again." Maybe they'll do it where Dewey is captured in that scene, and he's, like, tied up like, throughout the whole film, and, like, Gale and Sydney have to play by Ghostface's rules if they want Dewey to live. Kinda like Scream 3 kind of scenario. Um, and Gale might die, right? And then Sydney saves Dewey, and it goes a completely different way that you just would never imagine it to go. I don't know, because that would shock people. I would be shocked. I'd be like, "Wow, they killed Gale off over Dewey. That's crazy. Where is this gonna go?" You know? And so I could definitely see that there would be a lot of fan hate if they do something like that. Because if they kill off Dewey, I think it'd be more accepted in the horror community. Um, but if they kill off Gale, that's going to be a lot more harder for the fan base to take because there's people that like Gale more than Sydney in the Scream franchise. So that would be controversial for sure. And if they kill Sydney off, I feel like that would, the movie would not be successful. I feel like they have to keep Sydney alive for at least another movie. They can't take that risk of killing her character off until the 6th movie. You know, I think the trailer is intentionally deceptive. Yes, which is great. Like they're learning from Blumhouse, with not showing everything in the trailer, instead making us think the movie is gonna be a certain way, but then it ends up not being that way. It turns out to be completely different, which doesn't mean a bad thing, at all. Um, but yeah, it's just like a bunch of random things happening in the trailer, so it feels like a lot of that stuff that we see in the trailer was just meant for the trailer, than for the movie itself. It feels like that the those scenes that we see, were definitely made for the trailer. I think all those shots. I mean, maybe not the scene with, when, like, Dewey's on the phone with Sydney, when he's like, 3 attacks so far. "Do you have a gun? I'm Sidney Prescott, of course I have a gun." Like, that's probably a real scene. And then, Sydney and Gale, when she's like, "You ready for this?" And Gale's like, "Never." That's probably in the movie. When Dewey's talking about there's certain rules, to surviving, that's probably in the film itself, and uh, probably a few other shots, that we're not quite sure that'll be in the movie. But I think that a lot that's in the trailer was, I mean, even that opening in the trailer, that may have all just been for the trailer. When she gets the call from Ghostface and he stabs her, and the door is locked, unlocked, that could have been just for the trailer, which would be insanely genius because that means we go into this movie thinking that's the opening, and it's not. And instead, it's completely something different, and we're shocked, like how we reacted to Scream 4's opening, Scream 3, 2, and 1. You know, because to me, they showed quite a bit if that's the opening of the movie. I don't want to see out of everything to not be spoiled. It's the opening scene that I don't want spoiled because it's always separate from the rest of the movie. Is that opening scene? The opening scene is always a movie of itself and is separate from everything else in the story. So I don't want the opening ruined at all, and I don't want it in the trailer. And I was surprised in the teaser trailer that it was actually in there. But that's what they're trying to make us think. Do you guys think that that opening we see where um, the girl gets stabbed and the hacking the door locked unlocked? Do you think that that's actually the opening for Scream 5, or do you think that that is misleading and that we will get a completely different opening, or she'll still be in the opening, but it's just going to be written differently, and it's going to go a different way that isn't shown in the trailer? uh It'll probably be written differently if I had to guess. Okay. All right, so Mario Mania is on the same level as I am about how you feel about the opening. That that it's not gonna be like how it is presented. Yeah. I originally thought Selena Gomez was gonna be in this movie. Wasn't there like those rumors that she was in it for a long time? And then I went to the IMDb cast the other day because I didn't check the IMDb cast since not early last year. It was sometime last year, um, and I was like, "Oh wow, Selena Gomez is not in this movie." Okay, I wonder what happened there. All bets are off for me. I feel like their approach to the trailer and misleading people is quite intelligent and inventive, especially for the Scream franchise specifically. Yep, I completely agree with that. Uh, Sam Marshall. Yep, I agree. Completely agree with that. You good, Ryan? You froze when I said keep the stream. No, I did not freeze. It's waiting on you guys to respond after I ask a question, because I know there's probably like slight lagging or delay on the live stream, so it's me just like waiting to get the answers from you guys. Oh, let's check the poll of Halloween Kills, see if that's changed at all. Let me check the poll. Okay, so, all right. Halloween Kills, the worst Halloween film. 29% yes, 71% no. That's still that's almost 30%. That's almost 30% right there of wow. Still, that's that amount of people think it's the worst Halloween film. You know, I think it's good to see that there's more people that do like it over people that don't. But uh, I thought it would be a cool poll question because it's a film that just came out and it's getting so many mixed responses over any Halloween film, really. Make other Scream fan film. Well, one day I plan to make a Scream fan film again. I just don't know when, and it won't be for a long time. Um, yeah, probably like for a good like I don't know 5 years. You know, around there, probably like a good 5 to 7 years. Um, then you might see another Scream movie from me. I'm definitely going to be doing a new Nightmare story. I'm not going to go into it much. I'm just it it it's going to be set years after the Minor versus Jason Ghostface story came out, Destiny Part 2, all that. And it's going to have a new Nightmare kind of style, the movie. It's going to be very meta. Um, but I feel like that was the only way I could ever continue um, the story. The movie wouldn't continue the storyline of the first six movies, but I'm not going to say this is it wouldn't be a reboot. It's just that those movies are referenced a lot in that movie. They're talked about a lot, and there are actors that were characters in those films that are in this movie playing themselves. So it's going to have a new Nightmare style to it, which I always thought was the most exciting uh, Ghostface movie out of all of them that I've written. Um, but the whole save the best for last kind of thing, I'm doing that, and I don't feel a rush because the storyline takes place so many years later after those movies. So I have to let time go by, and let years, go by a bit, and then see when it's the right time. Wes Craven didn't make New Nightmare till 9 years after the original Nightmare movie. So, but this year has now marked 10 years since Haunting of a Ghostface, and next month will be 10 years since The Revenge of a Ghostface. How old am I? I was 14, 15, 16 when making Haunting and Revenge. And I started writing The Destiny of a Ghostface in January of, I think it was January or February of 2012. So really, right now, this is celebrating 10 years of those first four movies because, um, yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make Destiny of a Ghostface part one and part two. Didn't even know if that was going to be a two-parter when I made The Revenge of a Ghostface. originally Revenge of a Ghostface was gonna be the last one. Uh, so what I would like to do with these movies is to go back to them, go back to a lot of the original uh, unedited footage, like the original negatives, and clean up the movies more, re-edit them. I feel like these films need to be remastered. Remastered. I feel like they need to be completely re-edited, and rescored and all that. And once I can do that, I'm definitely going to do that because those movies, I mean, that was my whole life. That was my teenage years and adult years. And with those first four movies, there's all that copyright music, and I don't know how bad copyright is going to get, in the next 10 years or even 5 years. So um, it's uh, it's definitely something that I definitely am going to do at some point. It's going to take a long time, but I would like to remaster the first four movies entirely, re-edit them, give them a new feel, but still pay respect to how they originally were meant to be. Those films. Uh, when am I going to? Oh, I actually think Halloween 2018 is rated too highly and Kills is rated too low critically. Uh, yeah, I feel like Halloween 2018 gets way too much love. My opinion. I think it's overrated, even though that I still love Halloween 2018. I do think it's overrated, and Halloween Kills is not getting the love that it should be getting. My opinion. Um, when am I gonna do more fan films? Well, I start filming Insane Cage of Madness Part 2, more like resume filming Insane Cage of Madness Part 2, and The Devil's Servants this month. And filming will be completed this year for both movies, and those two films will come out next year. If everything goes according to plan, that's where my channel is going, my projects are going. Um, so you're going to get new content with Devil Servant stuff, and then you're going to get new insane content. For any Scream fan film you make, I've got many costumes, over 100 Ghostface masks, some from each era of their existence. Oh, cool. Oh, for any Scream fan film you make, I've got many costumes and over 100. Oh, so you're offering. Okay. Well, I do not plan to make a Scream film for a while. Um, and back then, when I would say that, like, of course, it was never true because I would always make another one and make another one. 'Cause I couldn't stop making them because the storyline was interesting to me because I was doing what the Scream films didn't do, which it wasn't meta really. It was more character driven, like more drama with the characters, and it was darker and like more serious in tone, and it just wasn't about like all the movie element stuff. It was just about a real life slasher. If Ghostface was a real person and just like slashed people, how scary of a concept that alone is, and not really adding too much of the movie element, meta element to it. So, New Ghostface would kinda be the first meta Scream movie that I would ever have made, a Scream fan film that I would ever make. Um, oh my god, did I just accidentally reveal the title of it? No! Uh, you guys didn't hear that. Um, they're trying to cancel Michael Myers because of the gay scene. Oh, I hope they don't cancel Michael Myers. I mean, Michael Myers kills like all different kinds of people in that movie. So, people on the internet are gonna, they're gonna look for anything, to complain about. And I didn't think that the movie was homophobic at all. My opinion, I didn't think so. Uh, I thought that the characters all the characters in that film did not make any good character decisions, and they all should have just ran, like Julian in the Halloween 2018 film, and all the characters should just get out, and all these characters in Halloween Kills like want to face him, fight him, or act tough or whatever, and it's like we as fans know how powerful of a villain Michael is, and it's just there was always that line when Dr. Loomis says, he'll kill anybody that gets in his way, in Halloween 4. That's pretty much the case, and that the gay couple that was living in the house, they were living in his house, you know? Michael just wanted to go home, and he wanted that house to himself, you know? Um, yeah, okay, I'm gay and can confirm the movie wasn't homophobic, but it did definitely suck. Yeah, I mean, definitely there was that weird part where Michael displays their bodies as the photo of them, by the record player. I was kind of like, What's he doing that for?" But I think Michael was just mad that people were living in his house. I think that was the only reason. I mean, Michael Myers does he even know what gay is? Like he was in a psych ward for 40 years. He's from 63, 78. Like, you know, he probably doesn't know a lot about the world. I mean, he comes from a completely different era. So he could have just thought they were roommates, until of course later on he, messes with their bodies and displays them like the picture of them, and so I could see like that part why people would think that it's homophobic, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And it's just bizarre. Michael Myers homophobic? Isn't Michael Myers asexual? And like, he's not attracted to anything? It's just he doesn't even talk. Like he's like a Terminator character. He's just there to destroy anything. I mean, people just like I don't know. And a lot of people saw that post or whatever about that and were like, "Come on." you know. There was even that what petition of for Halloween Kills was the firefighters, to cut that scene out from the movie when Michael, goes to town on the firefighter squad, which is sad. I actually feel bad for, like, the first 2 firefighters, because the one guy just falls, into where Michael's hiding. He didn't even have a chance. And then the other guy was just trying to help. He's like, "Take my hand," and then he gets grabbed. But then all those firefighters outside, like, they're all like, "Oh, let's go." And the guy's like spraying the hose. I just wonder why don't these characters get into their fire truck and just drive away? Like, I mean, of course they think it's some regular dude, but what? How do you react to that? You literally show up to this house that's on fire. Nobody could survive it, right? And some guy is just walking out like not like he ain't got no burns, nothing. He's just like, let's go. Like you think they would have been a little more caught off guard or would have moved back a bit. They would have, kept moving back or something. I mean, they just kinda stand there. It's the problem with that movie is that these characters just stand there and don't do anything, and they just let themselves be killed by Michael Myers, which I know it's like, what do you do by that point? But Michael Myers doesn't run. He's not like Jason or Leatherface. You kinda have a chance to get away, and Michael gives people that option, but they choose not to. So, uh, yeah. Um I don't find him displaying the bodies like that homophobic. It was kind of sweet in his own sick way. I guess. I guess. Yeah. He's killed literal children. People should be more worried about that. Yeah. Yeah. He's killed 2 kids in these new Halloween films. He killed a kid in the 2018 movie, and then he killed a kid in the new one. He cut his head off, and he's holding it to the other 2 kids that are on the swing set. You know, I mean, he kills, like, all different kinds of people in this movie, and that's the point of the film is that no one's safe, no matter what you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what you sound like, no matter anything. Michael Myers is going to kill you if you're in his way, and that's it's to make him a horrifying villain, is he's supposed to be your worst nightmare. He's in your dreams, he's a fear, and he's the shape, he's the shape, and it's just so bizarre to hear all these things about Michael like that when he's just he's not that deep of a character. Oh, people getting away from him, they can't. It's required they stand there and shout, "Evil dies tonight." Yeah. Instead, I'm gonna be like, "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." Instead of, "I'm out of here." you know. Yes, King V, I will keep the stream. Should I keep the stream, guys? Was this a really good live stream? Like, should I keep it? Is it worthy to keep? So I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake uh, last night. I haven't watched it in a long time, and it was better than I remember. Uh, yeah, because I was a fan more of like the beginning one. Um, in fact, that was the first horror film I ever saw in the theater. I was like way too young for that movie. Um, but um, just makes me think like how Legendary is going to pull off the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and then I really do hope that it's scary like the Platinum Dunes remake, and it's not goofy like the 2013 film um, or like any Leatherface movie that's come out since then. Like this franchise is like in a really bad spot, and I just hope that we can get a really scary Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie again that puts us all at the edge of our seat, and it's just not like insanely campy, you know. Um, there you go. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is the best of the big slasher remakes. Yeah, I agree with you. I really, yeah, it's a really good remake, and I didn't view it as the best remake growing up. I kind of thought Rob Zombie's Halloween was the best remake, or that Annabelle Horror uh, remake. Not yeah, with Ryan Reynolds. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is definitely uh, probably the best one. Because even though it was unnecessary to remake that franchise, it was done really well, and it was very scary, and yeah, it holds up. It holds up. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been pretty campy since part 2. Yes, but does the series have to be campy? That's the thing. Why can't it be shocking and horrifying like the first movie? That's why people love the first movie, you know? So, hopefully that this film from Legendary is gonna be kinda like how Matt Reeves' The Batman is gonna be for the Batman movies, like, it's gonna revamp it, you know? At least my opinion of the Batman movie that's coming out. Hopefully, this will be the case for, like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, that it's kind of like start over, but it's everything that you love about that world and stuff. I don't know. Aren't they making a Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game? Um, the studio that made the Friday 13th video game. Um, I forgot what they're called. Uh, but yeah, I heard stuff about that, which I think would be really cool because I played Dead by Daylight and I played Friday the 13th game, and if they made a Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, that would be kind of like a mix between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday third I mean, Dead by Daylight and Friday 13th, because Dead by Daylight is all about, like, the hooks, and Leatherface is all about hooking a character, onto something. So, you would have that element, and then you would have that Friday 13th element. We have like a bunch of survivors, characters trying to run away and survive, and would have like I think a mix between Dead by Daylight and Friday a bit. So I think it would be a really cool video game. Um, I would love to see a Halloween video game, a Scream video game, but I think a Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game would work really well because it's a survival game. It would be a survival game like Friday 13th. Um, so um, yeah. So this has been a lot of fun, guys. This live stream. It's right now. It's 7:53. Okay, so I'm gonna get off here at 8, which means the stream was a good hour and a half. Um, let's see. All right, now I'm gonna create a new poll real quick and see how I'm gonna do a new one. Can I create a new one? I can only create one. They only allow me to create one. Oh, here we go. I've never done this before, so okay. This is a lot cooler. Which home are you for looking forward to seeing? Okay, it's gonna be an interesting one. So I created a new one. I guess it'll appear uh, right there. Okay. So which film are you more looking forward to seeing, guys? Devil Servants or Insane Cage of Madness Part 2? Oh, another remake that's pretty good is Evil Dead. Yes. I haven't watched the Evil Dead remake in a long time. Uh, I think that the Evil Dead remake was very good. I saw that it's one of the few movies I saw in 4DX, um, which is the best way to watch a movie with that sound. Oh my God, the sound was so good. That Evil Dead remake, that 4DX sound. Um, and I did like that it was like mostly practical effects and wasn't a lot of CGI, and he had a little bit of CGI, I think, a little bit, but it wasn't like overdone. Um, so I did like that remake. It's yeah, it would have been cool to have seen a sequel to it since they didn't really do anything else with the series after. I saw that in the theater. I remember it being pretty good. Yeah, I think that the Evil Dead remake was very successful when it came out, 'cause, I saw it in the theater. I think many people did. I think I remember seeing lines for that movie. Um, the part where the girl's arm is hanging on by a tendon still grosses all my friends out. Yes, that is, of course, the most disturbing part of the whole film. Yeah. Let's see, let's go to the poll. 50-50. Wow. For okay, so which film are you more looking forward to seeing? Double Servants 50%, Insane Cage of Madness Part 2 50%. So they're both tied. That's cool. That's cool. Definitely gonna save that for like when I make RBO Shortman's 13 documentary. Not the chat board, but the the poll is gonna be screen capped. Like the votes. Yeah, that's so cool. 50-50, like, oh my god. Now I'm like nervous. I'm like, "Oh, which one's gonna win?" They're both tied. I mean, it's just interesting question because, like, it's 2 movies I'm making, back to back, and they're similar but different. Cage of Madness Part 2 is a psychological torture thriller, movie. It's got horror elements, but it's not like a full-on horror film. And then The Devil Servants is a straight up slasher flick, pure slasher movie. So, A Cage of Madness, I would say, has a little more emotion, a little more drama to the characters. Not to say there isn't drama with the characters in The Devil Servants. It's just The Devil Servants is more, it's very slasher based movie. It's I'm not gonna say like Halloween Kills. There's definitely there's not a lot of repetitive dialogue and stuff like that. I mean, the story takes into a completely different direction from the first movie. First one was about a girl being bullied at school because she worships Satanism, and then she goes mad, crazy, and abducts all the bullies and then kills them in her basement and records all the murders. And then detectives watch it, and then they have to face her dad. And that was the storyline of the first movie. Now, the storyline of the second film is a group of three people that are devil servants. Basically, they're copycatting the first movie. Like the the girl from the character Tracy Hill, who's the devil servant in the first movie. Um, because of what happened in that movie and how big it became on the news, um, there became like sort of a following to it. Um, But it's way deeper than that, way bigger than that, though. I don't wanna spoil the movie really, but it's gonna be more than one double servant, and it's gonna be just like the first one, but bigger. But, it's not trying to be the first movie at all. It's trying to be a different film, but it's still keeping those elements from the first film, like the things that are great about it, and the just the continuity to that it's still consistent, with the plot. But I do want to tell a completely different kind of movie. So that's those two films. Uh, you got to get iPhone 13. iPhone 13. I think I have the. Hey Siri, what iPhone do I have? I'm not sure I understand. Hey Siri, do I have the iPhone 13? I can't really say. She can't say that if I have the iPhone 13 or not? Okay. Hey Siri, do I have the iPhone 12?
I couldn't say.
Okay. She's in a mood. um, I guess it's the 12 something. I can't keep track of the iPhones, honestly, because it's like a new model every year, new number. But I might get it because it's got the number 13 in it, and 13 is my favorite number, and that is my number. You know, I'm thinking about getting 13 Pro Max, but it's been on back order since release. Oh, wow. Okay. It's been on back order. What does back order mean? I'm sorry. I don't know what back order means. Uh, you can educate me here. All right, so I'll end the poll to this because it doesn't look like it's changing. It's quite interesting that is tied 50-50. If you guys want to vote, vote right now on the poll and tell me if it's still tied or not. I'm gonna leave it on there for like 20 more seconds. So last chance to vote for on the poll. Uh, no stock at all. Oh, okay, okay. Yep, just like there was the PS5 shortage, right? I mean, that's gonna go down as like the biggest shortage ever in history is the PS5. I guarantee you because the history I've seen of the PS5 so far, people trying to get their PS5, their unit, their copy, it's so bad where PlayStation has to invite, a PS4 user to be able to just go to a link to get their PS5. You guys have seen that. It's a mess, you know. So I could see that being a documentary one day about the PS5, the history that it had to go through, uh, and even the Xbox Series X. But the Series X and S did not suffer like the PS5 did with what's happened, with the world. All right, and poll. Let me do one more poll. I'm gonna do one more poll, and then I'm gonna get off here. Poll complete. Complete votes. Okay, so I guess that's two people. More looking forward to insane. So it's tied. It's tied. Wow. Um, should put has. That's better. All right, that's the new poll, guys. See what you guys think about that. So, has my channel been more interesting or less interesting since 2020? Yes, no, or your channel. What was I asking? Or your channel will grow again. Which basically that option is that's there as like your channel has basically remained the same uh, since everything that's happened, but your channel will become bigger when you get more movies out, when you get your short films out, when you get trailers out and behind the scenes footage and more content, uh, kind of option. Um, but if it's been more interesting, put yes. If it hasn't been more interesting, it's just kind of remained the same. No. If you think my channel will grow more than it has right now, put your channel will grow again. So this is like me finding out what you guys have like what's going on. Okay. All right. So 33% of you still find my channel more interesting, or you have found my channel more interesting uh, since 2020. And then the other percent of you guys, 67% over 33%, 70%, agree that yes, some things have been lacking with my channel, but that's because of things that have happened. And that you guys are still gonna stay subscribed and stay on board because there is going to be future content, and I have a lot in store. It's just a matter of time, and and it will happen. You know, because you guys see my optimism. You know, so thank you, King V. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, because I've noticed like with my analytics, like it's kind of decreased a bit. So it's not to say my channel it hasn't gone off the radar. People are still watching my fan films and short films and all that. Like it's Double Servant's still getting more views, which is so wowing to me. Um, and But I can tell I'm at a point now where it's like, yo, you need to get out, a couple movies, on your channel in the next year, or less. You need to, uh, you know, keep us intrigued, you know, kind of like, hey, your reaction videos have been really cool and your unboxing videos and stuff, but we want to see more movies from you. And we want to see more content about your movies. We want to see behind the scenes stuff. We want to see interviews. We want commentary. So you guys will get all that, and we can all say that what happened in 2020 and a lot of this year too, you know, that was that. But all we can do is talk about now and think about now and where we can go from here and what we can do to improve upon my channel now, you know. I'll always see a viewer. YouTube's algorithm can be rough. Sorry, I'll always be a viewer. YouTube's algorithm can be rough. Oh, yeah, it can be. For pretty much any YouTuber, the algorithm is rough. And you feel less alone as a YouTuber when you see other YouTubers going through the same stuff. You notice you're not like the only YouTuber that is in a similar situation. Um, because what did happen to our world did impact a lot of things and a lot of people's lives and a lot of people's careers, even if it was nonprofit, if they had a artistic, they had an audience of their artistic material. Um, it's been, I think this has to be really struggling time for artists whether that's you're a musician or you're a writer or you're a director or actor or painter, or probably the easiest would be is a painter out of all of them. But because at least with like music, you can write a lot of lyrics of like what's happened with the world and like going into all that. Um, and then um, yeah, it's just it's sad that all that stuff happened, and I'm grateful that we're all still here after all that. You know, it's amazing, and it's something to celebrate that we're all still here. We're healthy, and we're all talking to each other. It's a really amazing thing, and I'm excited to direct actors again. Direct people, and bring these characters to life. These new characters. Um, these polls are really cool. All right, I'll end that poll. Well, and that was 7 votes. All right, so that's a good number of you guys telling me, what I need to know. So, no, sorry, that was 4 votes. 4 votes. I was reading the Halloween Kills one, my bad, my bad. That was 7 votes. Okay. I think that was a good one. Halloween Kills, the worst Halloween film. 71% no, 20% yes. That's something you would see, like, on social media, is that. That's cool. Um, it's good to know that, it's 50-50 with Devil Servants and Cage of Madness, that it's both franchises have their own audience. Uh, and then there's, of course, you guys that just are down with any of my movies, as long as it's Arbiter from 13, I will watch it, and kind of thing. Um, oh, okay. All right, one more poll, and then I'm gonna get off here. Okay. Moment of truth. Does my films look like they were made by a fifth grader? Thank you, King V. I appreciate that. Very much. Oh my god. I have 50% voted that my movies do look like they were made by a fifth grader. Only your first few movies. Okay. So 33% very much, 33% of course not, only some 0%, only your first few movies 33%. So that's about 3 votes. So, uh, yeah, see, that would be the response I would think that I would see out of the most would be only your first few movies. Yeah, like November 1st, November 2nd, Haunting, Revenge, Jester Returns, you know. But I think when I got to like Destiny of a Ghostface Part 2, then it started to look a little bit higher, quality. And then you get to like Ghostface versus Jason, and then Miner versus Jason, and November 3rd, Halloween New Blood, Double Servant, um, Insane Cage of Madness Part 1. They all look a lot better than those earlier movies. That's how I view it through as a filmmaker. But I am going to be using a very HD camera with my next two films. You'll see a vast improvement in quality, and picture and sound with my next two movies, which I'm very excited about. So, but this is something that I wanted to know how you guys felt. If my movies look cheap, like really cheap, or they don't look that cheap. Or some of them look cheap, or some of them don't look cheap. Um, So I like the of course not 25%. That, that's cool. And then I do like the 50% only your first few movies. Yeah. All right. I'll give you guys 30 seconds longer to vote on the question if my films look like they were made by a fifth grader. One being very much, two, of course not, three, only some, four, only your first few movies. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. You guys can still vote. Well, guys, this was a really, really awesome live stream. I only plan the live stream to be an hour and a half. Over anything longer. But yeah, I'll live stream for like another good uh 2 more minutes, 3, 4 more minutes, you know. So only a tiny bit more. And then when should I live stream again, guys? Um, when would you like me to live stream again? That's my question. And one day, guys, this whole background here is going to look a lot different. It's going to look a lot better than how it looks right now. I know it looks very standard and generic, and I kind of want my room to have a lot more style and I don't know, more design. I don't know. I feel like it's very plain, and I don't want to go extreme with it or anything like that. But I would like to definitely do something a little more special with my room. Um, and so probably sometime next year, or possibly the end of this year, you'll see a completely different room. Um, but in the future, you guys will see a different kind of design of this room. Um, Not where like the doors move and all this kind of stuff, but yeah, just I guess the way that I move things around and certain posters and lights and stuff. I love lights, so you might see like, four lights and all this kind I don't know, but yeah, um I just don't not really happy with how my room looks. I'm just not. So, and it's like, "Oh, you're not happy with your room, then change it." Well, I will. Um, anyway, thank you guys for when you start filming again, you could do some streams from set. Yes, I would love to do that, but then I'd be spoiling the movies, you know? You guys would be seeing what would be going on behind the scenes and all the takes, and there wouldn't be any there wouldn't be any kind of suspense. So I get nervous about that. I like my filming shoots to be very private, uh, in terms of like, I don't want my actors knowing, not actors, my fan base, subscribers, to know everything that's going on with the movie, or a lot of things with the movie. When I'm filming these movies, I'm in a completely different place artistically, and it's those movies. Um, if I had like of course, like a crew of a bunch of people, so then people can help me create a live stream that could be perfectly set up for my YouTube channel that doesn't give a bunch of things away and all that. I could be given ideas by people, but when you have to do this all on your own, it's very hard to think. And these two films are going to be filmed in a small amount of time because I'm very, very low budget. I uh, I don't have a lot of time with these actors as much as I would like. So I can't really guarantee or promise that about a live stream of the movies. I don't even know how I would even set it up or what even people would want to watch. Um, I mean, I definitely could. I've never done a live stream, while filming the movies. I don't know. I because there's so much that goes into these films and there's so much spoilers. It's not like a drama, you know, a drama movie, or where, you can hide things, big spoilers. With a horror film or even a film like Insane Cage of Madness Part 2, it requires just like all of that focus. So I don't know. Never say never for any future projects. Uh, but I don't know with these two. I'll see. I might have like one day where I might live stream, for the movies. I might do something because probably a lot of people would think that's cool. But I we'll see. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to come out with behind the scenes videos like back when I did all my movies. Like there's always like behind the scenes video, or like, oh, we just completed filming, this scene or this scene. Like I'll upload videos of that. I'll get promotional stuff, like stuff out, like artwork, not artwork, but like promotional image, for Devil Servants, for Cage of Madness. I'll get that stuff out. Behind the scenes things, interviews if I can. Going into the editing of the movie, I've never really gone into the post production part of my movies, so that would be a documentary of my sister working on the music for the films, or I could do like some more with my channel. I can do a lot, create a lot more content, and I'm going to. Um, and I apologize, guys. Like, just everything. What happened with our world last year. There was nothing I could do, and everything coming back. There was nothing I could do during that process either. So now in November, I did finally have the opportunity to film these movies, and it's numbing to me because I can't believe it. It's like too good to be true. It's hard to believe because these movies have been put on hold for so long. So uh, I just have to uh, get these movies made already. I gotta get them made. That's what I need to do, is get them filmed, and that's what is important, is getting them done. And then I can create a lot more for my channel because all that footage will be shot and completed, and then I can edit the films and then get all those other extra bonus features stuff, out on my channel. So, um, just more stuff in stock, guys, and sorry, just more stuff in store, not stock. More stuff in store, and I'm very excited. So, so that's my live stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I guess I'll live stream. What would be a good day next week for you guys? Would that be like next Tuesday, next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday? Like what's a good day that I should live stream? Because I would like at least live stream one more time this month before the end of the month or December. Um, I feel like November, December are really good months to live stream. I don't know. Because like it's after summer, and it's at a time where people are doing less, and they're online more. So um, yeah, anytime next week is good with me. Okay, all right. So I got time tomorrow and this weekend to think. Okay, Monday or Tuesday, pretty good. Any night during the week. Okay, that's good to know, guys. Zach, I will definitely send you a message about the movies, and then I don't know if you ever you want to talk like audio chat or something. Um, Let me know, and discuss more of uh, the movies, because I've been I've been slowly getting crew members and actors for these next two movies, but um, I have to communicate a lot with you guys to get anything done. Um, and I'm not always the best with like writing, like as a director, like typing what I want, for the movies and stuff. It's much better when I can actually talk to the person. Um, Anytime good for you? Okay. All right. So I will live stream sometime next week, guys. You'll get at least a 24-hour notice there's going to be a live stream. And I kind of do like the 2-day notice that I'm live streaming, because here you guys are. You guys all tuned in, because I guess you saw on the subscription feed, right, that I had a live stream for this Thursday night. So had I not have done that, I would not have like 3 likes right now, and you guys wouldn't have tuned in so quickly. So it definitely pays off letting people know ahead of time. Oh, poll changed. Okay. 40% very much, 20% of course not, 40% only your first few movies. Okay, I wonder why that changed. It's two people now that think my movies were made by a fifth grader. Okay, now that's two people. So one of you gotta tell me why all my movies look like they were made by a fifth grader. Every single film. That's what you're telling me. Every single movie I've made looks like it was made by a fifth grader. I'm not getting off this live stream until someone answers the question on the poll. Because what am I doing wrong for two people to agree uh, that my films look like they were made by a fifth grader? Two people, and then to not say anything, like a comment, not giving your own opinion that I would respect, is very cowardly. Thank you, Mikey, for that, saying that they don't. Thank you. Okay, so it's now all seem very tied with very much. Of course not. Only your first few movies. So okay, all right. Well, I will of course learn from all these polls. Your guys' answers and stuff, and take it all with uh, take it all into consideration. Because I'm always improving upon my art, and that's the point, is to get better, not worse. All right. Thank you guys for joining my live stream, and I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Good night. All right. Peace.